sometimes your work is very small or very delicate and no sort of cramp will really do the business because the cramp itself will get in the way of the carving. Circumstances like this, we use what's called the paper sandwich method, where we stick this delicate piece onto a piece of backing wood like that, carve it, and then split the carving away. To do this, we need to put paper in between. It's called a paper sandwich for obvious reasons. So let me show you how this works. Traditionally, the paper in between was newspaper, and that was what was available, or brown crepe paper like this. I prefer to use something a little thicker, so I use either manila paper like this, like a manila card, which is quite thick, or a watercolor paper, something again that has a little bit of thickness in it. So you glue this paper to the board, and although you can use a full strength wood glue, I like to dilute the glue. So I actually keep a little bottle here of diluted wood glue, about a third of water, quarter to a third of water. It just makes it penetrate the paper more easily. So you brush on some of the glue onto the board, you brush it onto the paper, stick that down, more glue onto the paper, onto the back of your little carving, and then you place that on the paper. And then importantly, you must cramp everything together with a clamp and then leave the whole thing to dry. And it must, when it's dry, everything must around the edge be secure to the backboard. That way you can carve through the wood that you're carving into the backboard itself. So once you've glued that down, you can hold the backing board in some sort of method on your bench and get on with the carving. So carve your delicate piece right down at the edges, which are supported, into the backing board. The next task is to remove it from the backing board, and I use a spatula like this. This is one used for plastering, little repair work, very thin, very flexible. You need to find the paper in between and start sliding and wiggling the spatula in between that layer, in that layer of the paper. The most important thing you need to do is keep this spatula flat on the background, so you don't lever, and you can keep probing until you find the point where the paper starts to go. You don't want to cut into the wood itself, so you need to be very careful where it starts. So work one edge, and then you can move it around, gradually twisting backwards and forwards, and after a while, as the thing starts joining together, as the various slicings that you've made join together, you'll find it becomes easier and easier, and suddenly the whole thing, the paper splits, and you'll be able to pop the whole carving off the background like that. So away it comes from the background, nice and protected. Now, to remove the paper, what I do is I just rub the carving carefully on a piece of flat sandpaper that's held on a flat piece of wood. So just moving it backwards, forwards, and you will need to clean off the very edges. So once you've done that, you can see that the very edges of the carving might need back cutting or might need cleaning up. So you do need to deal with those as well. But there you are, simple process.